Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Pisces for the month of February 2019. Welcome Pisces, it's your birthday. Starting the third week for the February Pisces. Let's see what messages we've got in store for you this month. The energy around your situation this month is the Nine of Pentacles, so very much completion, being independent, completing something that's really important to you, doing well, being very independent of mind too, and getting things done your way this month, Pisces. So it's a great card. But yeah, approaching completion of a project, something that has a lot of meaning to you. Where you are right now, Pisces, is Four of Rods, Four of Wands. Yeah, happy home card, starting to gear up for what's next, where are you going next. It's all about movement in terms of where you're going, where are you moving to in terms of career. Once you've approached completion of your energy, which is the Knight of Pentacles, you will sort of be ready to move on and up. So it's about sort of looking forward and looking into the future and seeing where you're going next or what you would like to start next. The crossing card is the Sun, the most powerful card in the deck. It's a healing card, but it's also a card of yes answers. So if you're asking, will I be lucky, is it time, the answer's yes with the Sun. The Sun also sheds light on things that have been a bit sort of dark or murky. So if we've got anything like that for you Pisces coming through, that you'll sort of, the Sun will be able to sort of shine in there and see what's lurking in the darker parts. The background. Moving on from a relationship, usually Eight of Cups is about time to move on. So this has been sitting in the background for a while for you Pisces, and it's sort of saying, yeah, well, you know, come on, move on from it. You know, it's time to sort of find something more fulfilling in your life, especially in the emotional realm. If it's not been right, well, it's time. And I do believe you've been focusing on other things which have been going well for you. And if you're feeling like leaving a situation emotionally behind, it's definitely, the Sun will sort of highlight to you why you need to do that for whatever reason for you. It's very personal as well. Okay, so let's have a look at recent influences. The Lovers, so decisions are sort of hanging around very much so. Just recently too, it's been come to your notice that a decision has to be made about a situation. You're going to continue with it, excuse me, or are you going to wrap it up? Big decision though, Pisces, so, you know, use that intuition and receptivity that you have. Go within, use your intuition to figure out what you know that you should do in this particular situation. That will help you with your decision. Let's have a look at the lesson, and the Tower is there, and yes, something is going out of your life. Because look at this Tower, it's on fire, it's been struck by lightning, it's old, it's crumbling. It's really coming to the end of its purpose. So, you know, the lesson is sort of, what would you do if that Tower was your place? What would you do? Would you get rid of it? Would you try and renovate it? It's up to you. But that's the lesson. It's sort of a disintegration in terms of something in your life needs to go, because it's really not sustaining you anymore. There's no more support there in this sort of structure of the Tower. I know that's quite confronting, Pisces, but never mind. You'll know exactly what that is, and how you choose to deal with that is up to you. These are just guidelines for you to Okay, so coming in the near future, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So being grounded, very much near future, sort of knowing that you're doing the right thing. Very much so. Feeling quite good about that decision too, because home and hearth is good for you. Yeah, and feeling quite secure in what you've decided to do. You've got enough to sustain yourself in terms of being earthed financially. Things like that should be fine. Even if you're worried about that and worried about those effects, this card says it should be fine. So don't try not to sort of use, you know, energy, waste energy, worrying about things that you really don't need to worry about. What's happening you're not realising is the King of Pentacles, and once again he's very much that financially stable type of person, very much there in the Queen and King of Pentacles. This could be a partner, it could be, you know, just that security that you're needing. It could be about moving on in terms of your relationship in those sorts of matters. You know exactly what it means to you individually anyway, Pisces. But he is very much a very reliable, kind type of a king. And he's sitting there. He can be also, you know, often he's an older sort of guy. He could be like your father or uncle or someone that you really trust to talk to about the situation, and you know that you'll get an answer that you can, that's practical and considerate as well. How others see you. The Star, you're just on your path, Pisces, so just keep walking along, moving forward. No coincidences here. Everything's really impermanent. We just have to walk through it and just keep moving. People, situations are all as they should be. Basically, I'm getting the lesson is, you know, letting that's no longer serving any purpose in your life go and move on from it. It's never easy, but nevertheless, you're able to do it. Positive feelings, the Hanged Man. So go with the flow. It's all about learning patience and sacrifice. It's almost being suspended too, which this Hanged Man is, but he's not trying to get up the right way. He's quite happy there floating upside down. He's looking at the world from a different viewpoint. And there is messages and news coming to him, but it's not coming yet. So wait for that news and be patient. Just learn those really nice aspects of humanity, of patience. Going with the flow, trying not to get sort of too hyped up about anything, because it's not really worth it. And plus you've got the Sun sitting there. Don't forget that crossing card that affects all of them. That shines light into, you know, these abilities of going with the flow and letting things go that no longer serve us. The outcome, and Seven of Swords. So this is that can be self-sabotaging energy, very much a mind energy. It can be other people sort of reflecting jealousy upon you. A bit of deception coming in there. I feel like you'll know what that is anyway. We're going to put a clarification card on the Seven of Swords. It's always a card that people go, oh dear, what's that? Why is he climbing out of the window in the middle of the night? Well, he's obviously up to something. So it's up to you to sort of determine whether it's you being the Seven of Swords or whether it's people around you. But we're going to have a look at that. Okay, so the only card I think that really needs clarification, well, we'll look at the Tower as well, because that will sort of refine down the search, really. It's like the search engine, isn't it, will define, because it's a major card. Dropped out. Be assertive and be creative. So these resonate with the Tower. So it's about knowing when to sort of speak up and say something. And it's also about the Queen of Wands or Rod. She's very sort of creative. She's a doer. She's a patient person. She'll wait for a long time, but then, you know, if she's not happy with the way things are, she'll certainly have something to say about it. She's not a shrinking violet by any means. Now let's just have a look at this Seven of Swords, Pisces. So we've got a Queen of Swords coming in. So clarity, yeah, it's about you being really clear about what really is going on. If you're suspicious about something, well, you know, I guess you're going to have to be assertive and talk about it. You're going to have to sort of say what you think. If you've intuit that, which you probably will to Pisces, yeah, well, you need to say what you think. It's about clarity about what's been going on, whether it's coming from your sort of, from yourself, or whether it's other people in your vicinity that are sort of being a bit, yeah, I don't know, usually jealousy and deception. It's like not being sort of really transparent, not being see-through enough. So we'll do your clarification card now, Pisces, and see what's happening to tie it all together. For February. And the message is self-acceptance. There it is. To be beautiful means to be yourself. You don't need to be accepted by others. You need to accept yourself. So that's interesting. That would sort of put light on that Seven of Swords. It's you that's sort of a bit maybe not seeing yourself and accepting yourself. Once you accept who you are, you don't have to struggle to be someone you are not. You are truly free to fully explore the talents and special gifts that you were born with. Use these special gifts and skills to in service of other people and the world. Your purpose in life can only be flourished by your self-acceptance. So that's a lovely way to end up, and that explains especially that final outcome. You know, really have a look at yourself and accept yourself and go with whatever it is being offered up this month. It's an interesting month. You'll have to be courageous, but Pisces, my word, you can do that easily. Thank you. Talk to you in March.